This bitch real quick. For real.
What's going on, everyone's? Welcome back, y'all. It's Sunday. Y'all here with the family. We are back again for another episode of Real Queens Real Talk. with the Gentleman's Perspective. I am your host, Auntie Momo, and we are here tonight, y'all, to get into some things. Okay, here we go. Y'all are getting me all natural tonight. Okay, no makeup. Just got out the shower, fresh wash and go. What? Okay. My coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Okay.
Wow.
Hey,
I like no.
that's right.
My dick long, my booty hole brown.
Here we go. I got the fam here with me tonight. I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves. What's going on, baby bros?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Knows me, it's Mizzle. What's going on? If y'all missed my live earlier, check it out.
Mizzle had a good live earlier today, y'all.
Y'all be don't play. Y'all playing games. So get into it.
Y'all are, because Mizzle had especially when he do the Mizzle talks. You know, the Mizzle talks is just about like anything and everything going on. You can put it in the comments if it's different things that you want to talk about. And we had a good little conversation.
Yeah.
And then for me, on Sundays like around 2-3:30, around 2 or 3 o'clock is when I start getting ready for the week. And so I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm winding down, doing my hair, whatever. And so for me, it's like it's keeping me company.
Yes.
So y'all need to get
laying down right now, y'all. So y'all won't be see me sitting up. I'm chilling right now.
Oh yeah, we finna talk about that in just a minute. The new Spill app, because I got to get the tea on that. Tracy know the tea on everything. But Sir Neale, what's been up with you, baby bro?
Yes, he been missing the action.
Missing in action. Family bullshit.
You know, you back up.
Yep. And I'm just clean. I got my husband in there folding up clothes. So fuck all that cleaning up shit because I'm tired of it.
Okay.
So
I ain't being at you.
please don't be mad at me. But hello everyone. I missed everyone. Trace, Miz, you know.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. But I'm in good spirits, you know. So no worry.
Good. Tracy, what's going on with you, sis?
You know, just trying to figure out all the things that's going on so I can stay abreast of all the things. Because, I just need to be a
so
part of all the things.
we're going to get into it. But real quick, before we get into it, what is everybody drinking? Okay, I'm drinking. This is called, what is this called? I think it's called a White Sands. It's like White Russian with peaches.
Gatorade. I'm trying to keep my mind
recover. That's what that is. That's recovery. That's what that is. Got to build up the electrolytes, huh?
Yeah, I had
Arabella.
So I drink enough last night, so I'm gonna chill out right now. But I do got some Paternal Scholar. I might drink that in a minute.
You ain't got no Seagrams. The Seagrams. Where's the Seagrams?
How you gonna tempt a nigga with Moscato? Girl, I gotta see. No, you tempting a nigga Moscato.
Normally, Mizzle got his Seagrams.
I got my Seagrams.
Okay.
Yes.
The Seagrams. Tracy, you ain't drinking on nothing?
I have peach Malibu and watermelon. Oh gosh, and watermelon Ciroc together. It's so delicious.
Heifer.
It's so
that
delicious.
Sounds really good.
You know, because my peach Malibu is the chaser.
Right. Is this too bright or is this too dark?
Yeah, I ain't drinking no Pepsi today.
Not the Pepsi.
Y'all trying me. Y'all super trying me.
Look at Fina Maria said it mineral water. Okay, drinking on the mineral water. If that ain't no bougie shit, I'm drinking on my little mineral water. Say mango today. Okay, I like the mineral water. Okay.
He's fancy on top there now. She's quite fancy.
quite fancy. Y'all, it's been a little bit going on, you know what I'm saying, this week in the media. So we'll just hit on a few things. Okay. I guess we'll just go ahead and start off with the latest that's been going on is this whole RIP Twitter. Okay, yesterday I got up, did my morning shit like I do, minding my business, and was on the phone while on the toilet, like normal people do every morning. And I see this whole RIP Twitter thing, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm just now getting acclimated to Twitter. What they mean RIP Twitter? Like, you can't die, and I'm just not figuring out how to use your ass. So I go on there and I'm trying to figure out what the RIP Twitter is, and apparently Elon Musk ass done made it to where you can only see so many tweets per day, and afterwards you'll basically get this warning. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone. Go to my Twitter account. You'll get this warning that basically lets you know that you've exceeded your your tweet amounts for the day. I guess I'm still really trying to figure it out. And so
No, just what you said. That like they limited your tweets,
sick of Muskie. I am too.
and they use keywords to shut down people. So if you use certain keywords like we would say Auntie Momo, you know, or you would say Sir Neale Hurston, or you would say Miz. He like did a bunch of Caucasian shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you have a new unverified account, you can see 300. If you have unverified but it's not new, you can see 600. And if you have a verified account, you can see 6,000.
That's ridiculous. I wanted to read the exact quote that he put out. I cannot find it.
How about you talk about somebody taking the fun out the bus? He took the fun out the whole Twitter.
Well,
I mean, as long as he don't take away the nudity, I'm okay because I get my shits and giggles from my nasty part, my NSFW. We were talking about that at Mizzle's live earlier. Like, don't take away my right.
I think it's a typical thing
that's very true.
I think that was a typical thing that he did. What happened on Twitter that he covered up by saying, "Oh, this is what we're doing." But I think it was probably because today I was going through it with no problem. I said nobody talking about it. I guess it happened that one time. I don't know what happened.
Oh. I think he's gonna treat it just like
levels. Yeah, this one says to address extreme levels of data scraping, and system manipulation. We've applied the following temporary limits, and then like Tracy was saying, and then he's been tweeting on here. The reason I set view limits is because we are all Twitter addicts and need to go outside. I'm doing a good deed for the world.
No, the audacity that he thinks that we don't go outside.
I mean,
the point
systems to see if you use certain keywords and reach your limit. Why y'all worried about what I'm doing on my damn Twitter? Why is that your business?
Well, because he has to pay for Google storage for tweets.
But he's a billionaire.
And he's cheap. He wants to apparently say a billionaire. Like,
how you a billionaire and cheap though? Come on, bro. Come on. Let's make that make sense.
Most of them are.
Most of them are.
Most of them are.
I'm not even a billionaire. I'm not barely a thousandaire, but I'm still cheap. I ain't charging bitches extra.
So this is more so because they need, they don't want to.
Yep, you ain't lying.
So they don't want to pay for kind of like how the maintenance was. When you think about it, he fired like half of the staff.
Yes, he did.
Because you don't want to pay, right? So you're putting in all these limitations. You're doing things to get more people to pay to use Twitter. Because if you get a verified account, you can get 6,000. You can see 6,000 things on Twitter a day. So it's a money thing for him. It is anything to try and make it as profitable as he possibly can, while taking away things that you normally would use and like and kind of got got used to, so that you will be willing to pay for it.
That's all facts because he's going for the money grab. But you can't tell us to pay for Twitter when it's been free for like how many years, and you want us to start paying for it now? You want us to subscribe to some shit? Nah, bro, we're not
subscribing to Jack. Yeah. I'm not paying for it. If I've already been on the shit, I'm not paying for that.
And another thing, Auntie, I was gonna tell you on Instagram and on Twitter, I have more people blocked than I have followers because there be questionable people that be trying to follow me, mostly men, and I just be like block.
Well, this is the app. If you go to it, and is it true, Mizzle, that it's only for Apple users?
Mm-hmm. Right now, yeah, it says only for Apple users.
Okay, because I'm on now.
So am I.
I got a little cold from my homegirl Tracy, so I was like, might as well. Okay.
Yeah, wait, that's another thing. Y'all remember when you can log into shit and people had to send you codes to get into Twitter and the Facebook? It was like years ago.
Mhm. When it first started, but still just started. But that's just like what was the other one? Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah, but some people are still on Clubhouse. I still
Yep.
have a Clubhouse account, but
Mhm.
I don't really go on there and listen to people.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. But Clubhouse was only for iOS users. You had to have the little code to get yourself started up and all that. It's the same general kind of thing, but it never really popped
Yeah,
off.
they didn't pop like that. Yeah.
It didn't pop
No,
off.
it didn't.
So
It just went like over the radar. It just
right
didn't.
now now this is the new thing, and it's like, is it going to pop? We don't know. We need to figure it out.
Yeah, this is one there.
So
I
I'm in
well,
there just in case, though.
listen, I took when they was like, "Oh, you need a code to get in." I was like, "Who needs a code?" I was like, "Well, let me go. Let
Tracy,
me
like, y'all
go."
ain't
And
said nothing but a motherfucking
I
word.
was
I
like, "Let
got
me
your
go and start
code.
because I know some people who know some people who know some people who do some things." And they was like, you can only get 3 codes a day." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, let me get this code." And they was like, "Oh, I ain't got no more." I was like, "Let me get this code." I was like, "Oh, I ain't got no more." I was like, "Let me get this code." They was like, "I got one, but I need to give it to 2 people. So I'm gonna need you to I'll give you the code, but you gotta send it to this other person. This other person, you have an extra code." And I was like,
My
"Okay,
girl.
get in there." So then what I did was I sent
My
one
girl.
to
yeah, I'm telling you.
to my chat. I sent one to Auntie. Was like, "Auntie, can you get in? Get your peoples in. Tell them to, like each one teach one, keep it moving." Then I sent one into
Yeah,
my
with
other
my
group and was
auntie.
like,
Yes.
"Listen, each one teach one, keep it moving. We gotta get us all together. We gotta
So if
all
you
get
got
in.
an iPhone,
We
if you
gotta
need
all
a
get in.
code,
You need a
No,
code,
that's
baby.
what
That's what we do."
we all know the regime, you know. And I was just telling my guy, I'm on an Android. I'm going to an iPhone now because the shit is responsible. They be cutting people off, you know.
Listen,
So
I
I
have
mean,
both. I have both. Cause I can't be left out of the things, because baby, I need to be a part of the things, because I just need to.
the
Listen,
things, you
well,
know.
no, Tracy be
the
knowing
comment
things and know
was
some things that got to do with some
the
things.
comment was
Tracy
real
know.
simple. She was like, "If you get them to vote for me, I'll give you this code." I was like, "Boo, say less, say less, say less, babe, say less."
I got a question though.
Yeah.
What app, if they got rid of, would you be like pissed the hell off? Out of say, okay, here we go. Quick game. If you have to choose Twitter or IG, which one could go?
I think IG could go.
You
Yeah.
think so? Yeah. I
Mhm.
like looking at pictures though. That's why I like
Yeah,
IG.
this is good.
I
You know
love
what?
my ID, my
Okay.
80.
No.
I like looking at pictures.
Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. I look at like more animated stuff on
Mm-hmm.
IG, contrary to real people. So I look like I'm on nerd shit. You know what I'm saying? And if they're gonna take it away, I could just look at comic books. But I enjoy looking at it. I don't enjoy the commentary and these bitches yapping.
Could be. Armani, do you prefer IG stay or IG can go?
Listen, you know what? I have more. I actually talk to more people on Instagram. Like, I actually
Yeah,
have more DM conversation with people
yeah,
I know
on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah. Mhm.
On
Me
Twitter,
too.
it's literally just for the things of the things on Twitter.
Thanks,
It's
but
just for the things of the things on Twitter. So it's like for like actual, like, I talk to all you guys on Instagram. You know what I mean? So it's
That's what I'm
like
saying.
Yeah,
it's
Like,
like, oh, do I look? I talk
I
to all you
think
guys
that
on Instagram, right? And then on Twitter, it's just the things. Like, if you actually like on my personal Twitter, girl, I think I have maybe 2 tweets, maybe two on my personal Twitter, and then I
mhm.
have my other Twitter.
what she said
Back
is
in the
true.
other state.
We all found each other on social media, but like I keep my Facebook like it's only my high school friends, you know, because we know each
I
other,
see.
you know. And
Facebook.
then Instagram is when you look at the dick pics and the butt pics and shit like that, and then Twitter is just like I'm not going there.
See, Facebook can go,
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I'm
honestly, because
busy on
my
that Facebook on
Facebook
my stuff.
literally is only consistent of my family, my close friends, and a couple of close people that I graduated from high school with. That's it. Like
But isn't that what
nobody
Facebook is for?
else, huh?
But that is what initially Facebook was for.
That's what it's for. But
Yes, and
honestly, and because it's just my family, close friends, and stuff like that on it, I ain't gonna lie. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. It's boring. Like,
Oh,
and I'm not calling them boring. I'm just saying Facebook in general, to me, it's boring. And then not only that, Facebook has gotten so many more ads on it now. I only get on my Facebook page maybe my personal page maybe once or twice a week. Now my Facebook, like my business page for my YouTube or whatnot, I check that a little bit more just so I can see different people that come to the come to the channel and look at it to see the algorithm. But Facebook itself is one that I feel like has been around forever. It's just played out. It's like another MySpace. Like it can go. I can do without Facebook. But bitch, if they and then IG, I talk with my internet family, like, and the family is a family that you make, okay, and like y'all are my family. If I can't talk to y'all on a daily or every other day, that's gonna bother me. So I don't want to get rid of my I'm not gonna get rid of my IG because that's how I talk to my cyber family. And then Twitter, that's why I get all the great dick pics from. Like Twitter has blessed me with some of the most beautiful dangalangs I have ever seen in thine life, and I'm not gonna get rid of that.
And everything.
wait, okay. Sidebar.
Yo, O'Shea, I just making me talking.
Wait. Sidebar, Auntie. I'm going to be open. I was telling my husband, like, the reason why I haven't cheated is because I be looking at my dick pics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for no flesh, no stone. If I want to go look at a dick pitch, and guess what? It's gonna go.
And Twitter got some beautiful, and it's like being someone who appreciates the art.
Stop it! Don't do that.
Being someone who appreciates the art of adult work, like I don't have to go to Pornhub because I can go to Twitter, type in a search engine what I'm looking for, bing bang boom, and you got what you're looking for. But
there you go, bro. There you go.
Something else.
It's like
a little bit.
It's like why? Okay, because in this day and age, niggas is dirty. Niggas is quite dirty.
Another app
And
that
I don't want if anybody listening. I don't want to offend anyone, but niggas is dirty this day and age. So that's why I got my husband, and and if I got yep.
Another app that I'm addicted to that I'm gonna be mad if they get rid of is TikTok. I ain't gonna lie, TikTok because the cook in me, they got some bomb ass recipes on TikTok. Have y'all ever tried a TikTok recipe before?
absolutely not.
I logged into TikTok and I got so many harassers. It made me uncomfortable, so I was just like, delog off, delete this app.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the algorithm that I'm on because I'm a foodie bitch, and so I got a lot of recipes that come on my TikTok algorithm, and I have gotten some bomb recipes off of there. But again, like if you had to choose between TikTok and Twitter, Mizzle, since you say Twitter is your thing, if you had to choose between TikTok and Twitter.
To go or to stay?
To go.
Well, TikTok to go because I feel like Twitter. Because Twitter, I use Twitter the most. Twitter is giving me access, giving a lot of people who subscribe to my channel, look at my stuff, tweet me more, interact with me more. I don't do any videos on TikTok. Maybe I should start, but I don't do any videos.
If they were to get rid of
any videos, it might be a live at the same time as I do a live.
Listen,
it's be the same. Subscribe there, but I like Twitter.
IG be tripping though because from a foot model point of view, IG be tripping. IG, you can't. It's not like
I can't even curse on IG. They be deleting my posts because I curse or say a certain word.
You have to even watch the hashtags that you use because the hashtags can get you a strike on your account.
You know what I realized? I feel like all of the social medias are going through that. And I feel like because TikTok is so new, it hasn't made it to that stance yet.
But it
But
will.
it's gonna get there, just like everything else kind of has gotten there.
Yeah.
And Twitter is one of those ones that was like, it was there, and then they relaxed a bunch of the rules, and then they tightened up a bunch of the rules, and they relaxed the rules again, and then now they got this crazy person, and it's just all wonky right now. But I feel like,
Mhm.
you know,
The keyword, the
things
key word is
are,
rule. The key,
yeah.
the
I
key
feel
word
like
is rule.
I feel like because right now TikTok is so new, it doesn't know what you should or shouldn't, or what you can. It doesn't know those things yet, or it doesn't know like what those things really mean to certain people. And once it starts to catch on, it's going to kind of do the same thing. Because, at one point, TikTok, prior to TikTok, Instagram was not as strict, and then it got stricter over time.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook wasn't as strict, and it got stricter over time. So I
Yep.
feel like it's that will eventually evolve. The problem, not the problem, but the reason for that is the laws and the times have not caught up to what happens on the internet yet. So it's always behind. So it's always like, okay, you can do these things. And it's like, oh, yeah, but no, you can't. Oh, yeah, but now you can't. Like, it's going to get those things. Like, it's just a matter of time. And then what'll happen is, in a couple years, a new app will come, and it's not going to have those regulations, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be the thing. And then it's going to start that cycle all over again. That's all.
It's called social media. They're going to recycle the shit again and again.
I don't
Pardon
even
me, I
think
got
it's
the hiccup.
recycling. I just think it's once you realize what the rules are, you have to learn how to break the rules.
It's buffering. What's it doing?
And that's our problem because we know how to break the rules.
If we don't know how to do nothing else, goddamn it, we know how to break a goddamn rule.
Yeah, that's
Do it
that's
for the
our
vine. I
problem.
ain't gonna do it. Do it for the vine. I ain't gonna do it.
I do it for
I ain't
the
gonna do it.
vine.
Yeah, we done a Vine, but Vine wasn't that long. It ain't last long either. So it was like,
No, because we know how to break the rules. That's they're
So
trying. They're
Vine didn't
trying to
last long
facilitate.
because Vine didn't last long because Instagram started,
yeah.
And
and
you
it,
could,
and it,
and you
Yeah,
remember when
remember?
Instagram
Yeah,
first started, you could only do like so many seconds on it, or it was to see.
which is, what's crazy? I don't like that. To me is so odd, because if you think back then, we were all complaining because Vines were so short. And
Mm-hmm.
now, if you look, most like people's attention span is only 15 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's so funny because, like, even back when we used to, like, people used to make music, their music was 3 to 4 minutes long. And now a bunch of people have a song that's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
because people's attention span now is not that long. And it's just across the board.
You know what? Perfect example. Perfect example. Sexy Red. The first couple of lines of that song, out of town, thugger room around, coochie pink, booty hole brown. After that, I don't care nothing else about the damn song. That is so true.
not another
That
fucking
I don't
word. Not
care
another
nothing
fucking
else
word.
she say. A couple of where niggas suck a bitch toes. I made him man, but looking for the hoochie dance. That's it. I don't know nothing else about the song. Nothing. I can't even
Um,
tell you nothing else because
Crazy
that
part
is
is
true.
most of her fans don't either. So if you watch
Yeah.
some concert she did, she literally had to go back to the thing over and over again to get the crowd hype again, because their attention span is only as long as the YouTube short lasts, the TikTok video, like the little snippet things. That's all I
That's
got. And then
it.
after that,
I don't want to know nothing else. I ain't got time. I ain't got an extra 15 seconds to listen to the rest of the song.
well, because
That's
the
the
song was
problem when they
terrible
try
to
to
begin
dumb
with.
us down.
Really
Like,
They try to
is.
dumb us down.
Y'all, I'm not a hater. I am all about people doing their thing, especially if you're trying to be an entertainer. Get out there and do your thing. But let's be 100, y'all. It's a lot of people that are entertainers and things now Did I
It would have,
really? How?
because you know why? Because they lost the idea of a one-hit wonder, and they now just made them TikTok famous. Because let's be clear, all of these people right now, a Glorilla would have been a one-hit wonder easily back in our day.
And
Easy,
I like Glorilla, but that
easy.
poor
Would have been a
baby,
one-hit
yeah.
wonder. Most of them would have been a one-hit wonder, where it's like, oh, this one-off song that everybody liked, and then you never heard from them again or never had to re-see them. You know who would not be an artist? Freaking Blueface. Krishan,
Oh my God.
none of these people will be a part of our lives if the standard was that you actually had to be good.
You
The
actually
standard
have
now
to be
is you
talented,
need
yeah.
a beat
Or
that's catchy
Krishan.
Tell me where she
and a
was
hook.
lying at.
Give
Tell
me
me where she
two
was
good
lying at.
lines that people could I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing because I blame Soldier Boy. I'm sorry. I'm just
You
gonna
ain't.
say it. I blame Soldier Boy
Yeah.
because when
He was the
Soldier
one that
Boy,
started it.
listen, when
You are
Soldier Boy
absolutely
said
right.
he literally got on BT and said, "Oh, I just make sure I have a hot beat, I get a
I'm
good first two
spice.
lines, and then everybody like the hook, and then nobody cares about what I said." He literally gave everybody after him the blueprint, and then every little song like that after has been people. If you were not a true MC, the other people who are like, you know, those like C class, D class, E class, F class rappers, they all have the same shtick. All of them. I'm
I don't.
sorry. The females, the men, all of them.
They
They
do.
all have that same stick where it's like, okay, please explain to me what this person does. I'm sorry. Give me all the words to a Dochi song.
That's the Armani Sage. What they just say? Ice Spice. I don't see the talent in that girl whatsoever. And
Orphan
I'm
Annie,
not being mean. She's a
don't do.
beautiful girl.
No,
She's
but I
she's
don't
a
understand what she was
pretty
saying.
little girl, but I don't see no talent in her whatsoever. She raps faster than the music, and then she's dancing off beat to what she's rapping.
Well, no,
And
she's
it's like,
well,
girl,
girl. Think about it like white people, right? White people dance on the 1 and the 3. Black people dance on the 2 and the 4. So she raps on the 2 and the 4 and dance on the 1 and the 3.
I'm
Like
saying we supposed
she's
to get down on the downbeat. She dancing on the
nah.
upbeat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't get,
Absolutely.
and I'm not being mean.
100%.
She's a beautiful girl, but I don't see what I just don't
When
get how a lot of people are going up for her. Like Busta Rhymes said, who was it? Somebody said in they acceptance speech. I love the new rappers that's out here. Ice Spice. I love, huh?
that was Busta. You know what? Because I think one thing that I can say about some of the new rappers now is unfortunately we see these jokers everywhere. When I
Yeah.
say everywhere, everywhere. And I mean, you can't like I can't take away their hunger and their tenacity and their willingness to just do
Uzi.
any and
Another one.
everything
Uzi.
to do any and everything to stay out there to keep like so it's a hunger and it's a thing, but it's a different type of hunger, right? So back in our times it was like you had Nas, or you would have a Busta Rhymes, or you would listen. I could tell you that there was like 2 or 3 summers where I think I heard T-Pain on everybody's music because he was hungry. He would get on it, he would be all over the place, right?
T-Pain is a
So
shit.
there was a hunger to him
T-Pain
that
is a
was like,
shit.
I gotta make it, right?
No auto-tunes.
Now all of a sudden you have these people who are like everywhere, who's like, I gotta make it and willing to do everything. I'm sorry, Auntie, and I know this is gonna hurt you, but Sukiana is a prime example.
Don't talk
I'm
about my girl,
sorry.
Suki.
She is one of those people who would
Don't
do
talk about
anything.
my
She
girl,
would do anything. She
Suki.
would say anything.
But I ain't eating
She is
ass.
all over the place. Her rap skills are subpar. I mean, it's giving very much so elementary school, but she is willing to do anything to be famous and
That's kind of
to get on.
that's kind of how I feel about City
Wait,
Girls. I like City Girls. I love me some Young Miami, but I don't really feel like they're that talented. I feel like they're famous because it's a lifestyle now. They made being a city girl a lifestyle, getting out here, getting this money, being sexy, young and free. Fuck these niggas. You gonna give me money, this and the
Is
other.
it F these
Like,
people?
huh?
Is it F these dudes? Because the way how they act, like they own their feelings. So
They
if they
all
acting cool,
okay.
No,
Exactly.
what I was gonna
But like
auntie,
they
auntie,
making
I was
it a
gonna say.
lifestyle of being out here fucking these rich niggas and getting this that and the other. That's
Mm-mm.
why I feel like they're famous. Now I'm not being shady to them or nothing because I love Young Miami. I think Young Miami is funny. I think she's really funny. But as far as entertainment goes, as far as stage presence go, if you've ever seen them like perform, they're cute girls, but they're not really performers. They're not what we used to seeing growing up. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I'm the oldest bitch out here, they just not. Yeah, and so
Auntie, when I was saying like with
like
one thing in my music career, pardon me, I have the hiccups. It's that cancer season, so the pollen and shit. Um,
Armani.
but when I was doing shit, they were trying to tell me how to be a certain type of artist, and they were telling me literally I have to come out as literally flamboyant as hell or stay in the closet. And I was like, no. I was literally like, I'm not gonna do that. I was like, and that hindered myself. Hindered myself because you see other artists that are more flamboyant now. They're getting more notoriety, you know, because they're willing to be flamboyant. But I was like, I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, how y'all think? What y'all think about Lil Nas X? The way he kind of switched it up. Like when he first came out, I feel like what's my question? I'm
you
trying
ask this all the damn time.
huh?
You ask my little ex all the time.
I know because it's like I want to like him because I do like him as a person, but as an artist, I just don't like him as an artist. And honestly, because you know why? I'll be honest. Why I don't like him as an artist because I feel like I don't know who the hell he is. When he came
It's that
out
no,
first, he was
Auntie.
doing this
It's that
small town
industry shit.
road country type shit. And then from when he first came out to where he is right now, they're two totally different people. Had he been this person who he is now when he first came out, it was buffer, my bad, y'all. Had he been this person that when he first came out to who he is now, you can't say nothing about him because that's who he is. That's who he was all the way. But if when you first came out and that's not this persona who you was, that's fake and phony to me because now I can't accept it for who the hell you are now because that's not who you were.
Can I ask a question?
It's fact.
Or he just developed as a person. Because a lot of artists start off not the way they was now.
Okay.
So I feel like he's developed. I don't know. I'm not going for him and everything because I don't really listen to music like that either. I told you about my experience on the Little X tour. I wasn't feeling it. But I feel like that's what always been. I think he just had to get in the industry, and I was for sure. I think that was always he been. And I think as they do, like a lot of artists, as they get notoriety and success, I guess more of their true stuff coming out, and that's what it is. And I think a lot of artists start off timid and see how people, not timid, start off small and snippet and see how people take to them, and then when you know get a fan base, then they start elevating more and doing more stuff like that. And like that I was gonna say something before about when you talk about artists. I think back in the day when artists was driving, they hungry, and they was focused on their talent. It was mostly focused on talent.
Yeah.
Now these days, it's not focused so much on talent. It's focused on
Fact.
who has the a presence and influence on media.
Right.
And media is so prevalent now. So if you got a present media, then you can make a little beat and the music and not be sound good and make, like Tracy said, like a one little hook and beat, and you be good and you be an artist. So artists now these days is not the same as artists how it was before, because before they were looking at talent and stuff like that. Even though it was still messed up back in the day, we found out all the crazy stuff that happened in the 90s, drugs and abusers, the producers taking over artists and taking money. even though that's still corrupted now these days, a lot of these artists, the talent don't need to be there. It need to be the presence and the influences. And that's what it counts. They count that they see you got a backing following, that you throw them under the beat.
Well, don't get me for this, but you know who's a good example of that? Chloe. Chloe has a great following and terrible album sales, baby.
Yeah, she does that so I don't know.
She has a great following and terrible album sales. I mean,
well, that's because everybody's streaming stuff now. Ain't nobody buying albums no more. Everybody's streaming.
But even her streaming numbers are bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she had good streaming numbers.
Define good.
Is still sold out.
No, she complained about them.
Yeah.
I'm talking about most of the influence, not so much they looks. Some of them look.
About the looks.
I'll say this. I think Little Nas X, right? So if you look at like a Janelle Monáe, right? Who she started out this one way and now has evolved to something else. Yeah. You've seen that progression over time. With Little Nas X, it was like he was one way for one song and then immediately switched to something else, right? So with Janelle, it was like, okay, you've seen this progression with her over time, over years. Little Nas X was like, I'm going to get this one song to get in.
And then he flipped the switch.
And then I'm going to show you who I really am.
Yeah, remember Janelle Monáe was like, when Janelle stepped in, she was like, feminine protection, and things like that. And as she grew into her body, and she started to, show the feminine perspective. She didn't like just bust out and be like, titties out.
Yeah, so
people are coming at her hard for that. I'm like, why y'all tripping about Janelle Monáe? I mean, people on Twitter are like eating her ass up over her showing her titties. Well, I'm like, why are y'all going so in on her for that?
I mean, I can understand why. Well, let me say this, right? That you also put yourself in one of those odd situations, right? Because if you tell me
that part
I am about my talent, my craft, I shouldn't have to be sexy. I shouldn't have to show my body. Women should be respected for the talent that they are.
Right.
And
that's how
my sexuality should not be required for me to sell albums, to make videos, for y'all to like me. I shouldn't have to show you my body for you guys to like my music, right? So,
and that's when I knew she was gay when she said that. I was like, oh yeah, she likes some puss.
Yeah. So if that is the thing that you like built your brand on, I can understand people saying, wait a minute, that's not what Auntie, that's like you saying, I built this platform on representing for the old hoes and niggas and people who suck dick. Yeah. And then you turn around and be like, I am a good Christian woman and God would never allow me to take it in the ass and suck dick. Absolutely not. Oh my gosh. You see what I mean? So it's like, it's a very different thing from what you said. But I do think Janelle has found herself, and her fan base is now going to need to be accepting of her in her journey. And her journey was also quiet and done privately.
Right.
So people were not expecting the change, right? So it's like if you see a change in someone and you progressively grow with that person with that change, it isn't so shocking. But if you are going through this change on your own privately and then you come back, people will be shocked and surprised. So there's a thing for, because you're in the public eye, how much you share, when you share it, how people will resonate with the change. And it's just going to take people to get some time to get used to
it. Yeah.
This, her coming into her own in this way.
I think people should do what she said. Get off her areola, okay? What is that? What I'm going to say? Did y'all see Dania Jackson going after the new chick? What? No.
You talk about the Salvation Army,
the breastplate of army, and the
bonnet of salvation.
She went after the new chick, girl. Dania just making herself look.
Oh, well.
What you mean? Her master classes ain't help her? It's supposed to help y'all. Girl, you see how much them classes are now?
Ain't they still 5,000?
Girl, listen. So when I was trying to get Mizzle to join it,
Girl,
It was only 1,000.
I let her go Phil.
It was 1,000 it was $1,000 back when I tried to get Mizzle to join it. It was $1,000.
Uh-huh.
Girl, now it is 2 payments of $3,999. 2
Bitch
payments.
stripping. She trying to keep up with her lifestyle.
And I
She's
told you,
crazy as hell.
all that sympathy thing, that interview
She
she
cra-
did was for a reason.
So what you coming after the new chick for? Girl, she's bless her heart. And Derek Jackson is still making videos because it came down my my goddamn Twitter timeline because somebody had put exactly that. Like, this nigga still out here making these videos.
I know
Yes, he is. That's just so goddamn random to me. Okay, let's move to the next thing real quick though. I want to talk about double standards real quick, okay? Because y'all know the awards, what was it? BT Awards was last week, right? And y'all already know there was a whole altercation and whatnot that happened between Lil Uzi and JT. The whole details about it, for sure, I don't know. Something about she got upset because first, supposedly he was flirting with Ice Spice, but then it happened to be she was upset about seating arrangements. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, she got mad at him. She threw a phone at his ass. And then right here, you see she yoked his ass up because a fan wanted to take a picture and she yoked his ass up. And then afterwards, they were seen online together, like she hugging and kissing on him. It was at his album release party. They all, it's like they all good now. Even though you can still tell the nigga looked really uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if the nigga was forced to be there or what, how it is, right? Now, people are talking about how double standards, like if this was a man that did all of this, if the situation was turned around, if the situation was reversed and Uzi did that to JT, they would have canceled that man so fast. I mean, look how they did Jonathan Majors, ready to cancel his ass, even though he done been found not guilty.
They did? I thought they trials in August.
Yeah, his trial in August.
So what is that he was found not guilty of?
Not guilty of what?
That's what I'm saying.
Jonathan Majors?
They didn't try him yet. He's in August.
What is this that's been out there that said he was found not guilty? Did y'all not see that?
It must be the point. Take news out because he's trying.
Let me see, girl. Yeah, I'll find that in a minute when I let y'all talk about it. But yeah, I seen that about Jonathan Majors. Like the charges was dropped or something like that. I swear I just seen it.
Make speculation saying, "Oh, he got vindicated and everything," but I said we don't know that yet.
Where is it? I gotta find it. But let me finish talking.
No, the white girl got arrested, didn't she?
Say what?
Didn't the white girl get arrested?
And he charged her.
Yeah, he charged her, but I didn't know his charges got dropped. Girl, we'll talk about it when you find.
Okay.
Now I'm interested.
But but like I said, it's just a whole double standard when it comes to that, and I don't feel like it's right that. I don't feel like it's right that anybody put their hands on each other. Woman putting their hands on a man or a man putting their hands on a woman. But I don't feel like she's not getting the same kind of backlash that I feel like, in my opinion, like you embarrassed this man in front of all of his peers at the damn BET Awards, even though the BET Awards was ghetto as hell. Hell, you had Sexy Red singing about Coochie Pink Booty Hole Brown in front of Bobby Jones, in front of the pastor, okay? But the whole thing was just ghetto. But again, the way she treated him, the way she yoked him up, like everybody, like the females are like, yeah, that's right, girl. That's how you supposed to do him. Let him know and blah, 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 blah. But again, if the situation was turned around and he did that to her, people would have been looking at his ass like he damn crazy. So I wanted to hit on that real quick. And then also the whole situation with Maurice from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Baby, the internet is eating his ass up for that interview that he did with Carlos King when he talked about he needed sex and that he thought it was admirable that his wife would lay there and suffer through it, which is very predatory to say if you keep the shit real. He felt like it's admirable for his wife to suffer through it because that shows that basically she's there for him like he's there for her.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that? And if your partner were to tell you some shit like that, I'm sorry, but you can go and you can take all your shit with you. I'm not going to suffer through having sex with you just because you feel like that's an admirable thing to do. And then again, like I said, on this whole Uzi and JT situation, JT, that shit is ridiculous to me. And it's ridiculous to me that a lot of females are sitting up here co-signing what she did. But I'm going to find this thing about Jonathan Majors. But what's your thoughts on that? Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah, it is a double standard because if DV and abuse and everything is not good, it should not be good in both sides, and that's what sometimes men don't talk about when they get abused because people will criticize him. Oh, he needs to be. He's soft as a man. He's this, that, and man, put your foot down. That you won't go taking the overshoot. At the end of the day, he don't believe in hitting back because if he would have hit back, it would be a different story, right?
That
So
part.
I feel like no, she shouldn't be doing that. We don't even know the backstory of what happened at the BET Awards, even though, like you said, it was a travesty because a lot of people shouldn't be there in the first place. BET Awards changed a while. It changed because it was never like that before. But yeah, it's too much. I didn't like that. Throwing the phone in his face, calling him a B, calling him all that stuff, and all for a seating arrangement. That don't even sound right. And if he did talk to Ice Spice, a lot of artists sit next to each other, and then sometimes they have seating arrangement pre-arranged before you.
Oh, she was arrested on assault. That's what it was.
Like
I'm
that.
sorry.
So, they are sitting next to each other. But I guess this BET Award, nobody had no assigned seats, so everybody was saying it anyway, I guess. So it's ridiculous to do all that. And then Yo come in and say the thing, all that. So I said, girl, you're doing too much. You're putting on too much hands on him. I think that's okay. And like you said, a lot of women think that it's okay. You put a man on a hand of a man and they cannot respond back because they are a man. And I don't believe a man should hit a woman, but I do feel like they should defend themselves. And women have to realize they can't be putting their hands on a lot of men because a lot of men can't take that. So she lucky she had a good one like him who don't retaliate back. But I don't know in their household. I don't know what they do behind closed doors. But what we seeing so far, she the one doing a lot. So it is a double standard because if he did that to her, slug her phone and everything, guarantee you, we will not be to hear the end of it.
That's right.
You want to hear the end of it.
That's right. I completely and totally agree.
So you want to talk about this and Maurice at the same time? We'll talk about this. Okay, so Maurice thing. He is a solid piece of man. And you know it's crazy? A lot of people did not see Love and Marriage Huntsville. A lot of people don't. So they're only seeing that because they know UK and they know his platform, his YouTube, and he doing videos. So when they first time seeing him in this light, it's that statement he made. And you know, a lot of people supposed to go through the big C battle. And that's how trouble it is. It does affect your body. It does kill your sex joy. It does a lot of things, especially if you got the aggressive form of it. And let a man get that. They can't perform. They can't get up. They can't do none of that stuff. So what if he had it and Kimmy come around and said, oh, well, I needs it. So you need to get up or something, or I'll step it out. How he will feel. It's the same thing. So he don't understand the fact that he said she got to suffer through that. So you're a solid piece of man. Because now you are selfish. And to be honest, he always was a sex fiend anyway. That's why I call him Hotbox. Because he acts like the down there is too hot. It got to be itched all the time. So it's like that. When he told us in like last season that he had sex like 6 or 7 people in one day. That is too much.
6 people with his nasty ass
in one day, and he almost feel like he was with the 4-letter words, and that's when he had to start having sex for a while till he get himself whatever checked out and everything. So I was like, he's doing too much, and it's a solid piece of man to think that he cannot at least jerk off or go to a sex store and get some torso pee, which is like someone who feels really good and it's tight as it is, you could get off like that, or leave, or no, let Kimmy leave, because I will not take that. It's like that.
Yeah,
and the fact that he got suffered and take it for the sake of him not leaving her to step out. I would say, Kimmy, what did you not tell us? Because you know something. Because you know your man was before you got married. And why he was raw dog and doing all this stuff before you got married, in between you and Kiowa, then I don't think what you think he was so different. So I'm not featuring him. And these people lit his ass up because they never see him before, and now they do turn to Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's not gonna be good because they know how he is now. And a lot of people finally waking up to him because he's been like this for a while. He was hiding it better than his brother, but it was there. Oh, it was there.
And I didn't. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll finish.
I didn't see it as much just because I had so much and hatred towards Martell and Marsau. I kind of feel like maybe Maurice just kind of like went under the radar, because I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention to how much of a dickhead asshole he was. I didn't know that this was in him, because again, I just had so much in me for Martell and Marsau. That's all I focused on, was like them just being, and don't get me wrong, I never thought Maurice was just this great man either, because you could tell a fuck boy, because fuck boys got fuck boy tendencies, and so I could tell he had fuck boy tendencies about him. But just to know that this is how you really think about your wife and what the hell she going through.
So my question is, she probably do love him, but did Kimmy really love him, or he used her for a come up, and she just felt like, you know what, I did my part, I'm old, I don't think I got another chance, and I'm just gonna stick with it? Because I don't know what's the life of me why she would do a man like that. Call it her caliber, but I don't know. Maybe she
they don't. It's something about them. They don't. I don't know. They don't seem like. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. They just. It's very weird to me. I don't know. I've always thought their relationship was weird. Like, she don't seem like she would be with him. I don't know if she's too pretty in my. I don't know. They just seem like a very
to a fault.
Yeah, very different kind of couple.
Hey Tracy, what do you guys think?
In my opinion, yeah, Tracy, what's going on, bro?
Unless you got nothing to say.
Armani say, I think she loves him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she wouldn't have been with him this long if she didn't love him. You know, she got some kind of love for sure, but
I'll say this. The same people who going up for JT is the same people who go up for Krishan and Blueface.
Yeah,
that's them same people.
Oh, you say
that's some same people who think toxic love is is the gold stamp. And I was like, I don't know who taught anybody that, but it is sad. Like, I just need y'all to realize that putting your hands on somebody or throwing things at somebody is not love. Like,
no, and that will get you fucked up.
That's not love. Like, I don't understand how anybody looks at that and thinks, you know what, them two people really love each other.
Especially with a one. I don't give a damn what nobody says. I don't feel like no woman needs to be putting her hands on no man. Period. That shit is wrong. I don't like. And then how I am.
Auntie, can I ask you a question?
If he hauls back and knocks the black off your ass, in my opinion, that's what you get, because you shouldn't have been putting your hands on him.
I mean, if we really want to be honest, it looked like JT could take Uzi easy. Like, it looks like JT could take him easily. So I think she feels more comfortable doing what she's doing because she could easily take him. I feel like she feels more comfortable because she feels like she could. We all feel like she could easily take Uzi down. So I think that's why she feels more comfortable doing it. But to me, it's this thought process of the toxic relationship and the toxic love, and people going up for it as if this is the story to go off of. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're okay.
That is true. We're living in the era of Blueface and Krishan, and I'm about sick of their ass. I'm so fucking sick.
Oh, they just dropped their trailer for season 2 of their show.
No, God damn it! And I'm about to unfollow the neighborhood talk if they put up one more goddamn thing about Blueface. Nobody cares.
Oh, they do care. These are the same people who going up for JT. No. There's people who care. There's really.
I hate that little boy.
You know,
I can't stand a Blueface. I hate him. I can't stand his mama. I can't stand the baby mama. I can't stand none of them. Get off my TV.
Look, I am completely fine with all of them going directly to hell.
The first thing smoking.
The whole kit and caboodle. I was like, and people who keep being like, oh, poor Krishan, she is just in a really bad spot, and she's absolutely not. Send her right there with him, because
she's not. Yeah,
she's not.
Girl,
she is just as equally toxic, and she needs to go about her business and get on the next thing smoking too, because I promise you, they are all the same. They found the toxic in each other, and let them have that. Yeah. And just I'm a
That
I'm a
part, Armani.
fond
Yes.
believer in one of those things where people are like, oh, okay, well, maybe you could see the good in someone and, bring them up. Absolutely
Mm-mm.
not. They bring
No.
you down with them.
Yep. That
Cut
whole part.
ties and save us all. Um, so my feeling on JT and Uzi, she knows that she could whoop it. She be beating that man, and people go up for it. So if they don't see any problem with DV, I mean, if he black her eye, y'all better go up for it just the same. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Exactly.
I don't know what to tell y'all. So if he toss
Exactly.
his phone and black her eye, then you better go up for it too, cause that's real love. That's couples goals to y'all. I
Exactly.
was like, y'all can kiss my foot, cause I'm telling you right now, we don't do this. You put your hand. Absolutely not. Let me tell you. Um, if we arguing, you need to stay on the other side of the bed. Like, stay on that
Thank
Yeah,
side
you.
of the bed and
nowhere near
argue,
be
and I'm
close.
gonna stay
Yeah.
on this side. I'm gonna stay on this side of the bed and argue. You gonna stay over there. I'm gonna stay over here, and we can argue. That's fine with distance between us.
I'm just saying these same females, like you said, that's applauding and going up for this, when the time does come and they have that real bad domestic violence situation and he peels some motherfucking cat black blue, don't nobody need to be coming out and saying how he's horrible and he's an abuser and he puts his hands on women, and yeah, I don't want to hear that shit.
They
She
both
been
horrible.
whooping his ass.
They both horrible. They both abusers.
They both
Listen,
horrible.
the way
Yeah.
she the way she yoked him up by his neck was like, "You want to take pictures? Take this picture."
Right.
I
Gonna
was
make
like,
that nigga
"Oh,
take a picture. What?
okay." I was like, "Okay, okay, mom."
And he looked very uncomfortable. And then what was that? Like a couple of days later at his album release party, they dancing together, and still that nigga looked real uncomfortable when she was taking his glasses off his ass. I mean, he just looked real uncomfortable.
Listen,
Hey, Joseph.
I'm not trying to be funny. I feel like Uzi stays because he looks at her and is like, "I'll never get anyone that looks this good again, so I'm just gonna stay." Like, that's really what it gives me. Like, and JT looks at him and like, I could treat him any way I want to because look at him and look at me.
True
I
that.
honestly tell
Ugh.
you that this is what it's given. Because when someone first told me that JT was dating, I was like, "Ain't no way she dating that little ugly little thing." I was like,
I
"Ain't no
thought so
way,
too. I was like,
ain't
he looked
no
like a
way."
roach.
And then I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is one of those relationships where he treats her like gold because he thinks he'll never get someone who looks as pretty, and she treats him any kind of way because she knows how pretty she is in comparison to him, and his dating pool is slim when it comes to people who look good, unless they only want him for the money. And I don't think she's with him for money. I think she's with him for how he treats her and the way he makes her feel because of the way she looks. Like, that's the relationship vibe I got from those two. Um,
Yeah, that would go down fast.
when it comes to them Scott peoples, um, I will say that most people, because season one of Huntsville, Martell was like actively cheating,
Yes.
and Maurice was an active misogynistic butthole.
Mhm.
Maurice slid by for most people because the other two men on the show were so bad. You
Mm-hmm.
see
Yes.
what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
if you put the three of them together, he's the best of three terrible people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like so he's now getting his day in the sun, in the spotlight to shine, so we can all see what that is. I think that when it comes to him and Kimmy, he presents to her only certain aspects of him, of who he is and what his personality is, because I don't think he would have ever said that to Kimmy to her face.
Hell
You see what
no.
I mean?
But she know now.
But she
Nah, I
knows
just gonna
now,
say that.
right? So, but
Just
but
gonna
he
say
feels comfortable
that.
talking about it to other people. But I don't think he would have ever said that to her face, right? Where we expect the worst of his brother, right? We know that he'll say the hurtful things to his
We know
wife's
Marcel would
face.
say it.
Like Marcel's wife was like, "Oh, let's go ahead and renew our wedding vows," and he was like, "No," and she was like, "Kiss me." He was like, "No." Like, he don't care. Like, he actively treats his wife terribly. So I think with Maurice, it's a different dynamic of how he talks to other men about his wife and how he talks to his wife are not the same. And I think he just got real comfortable talking to Carlos like he always would, and he didn't see a problem with it, right? Because normally, I don't think Carlos would have left that type of statement in the show because Carlos knows on own his like the his women that
Exactly.
he gets is that. So I don't think Carlos would have ever left that in on the own network, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Carlos seen that and was like, you know what's about to explode?
This
This
little
video
boy.
right here.
Yes,
Oh, oh my, this is about to be everywhere, baby. I'm going viral. Let me tell you, Twitter is about to be on
because you
fire.
see his face the way when Maurice was talking, you could see it in Carlos' face. He was like,
But
"Oh
he came
shit!"
Uh-uh.
up
No, no,
and
no.
like,
But if you kept watching, Carlos agreed with him. Carlos was right there,
yeah, something about
amping
Steve
him
Kane.
up.
It's something
Oh,
about him
oh,
that's strong.
he was right there,
Yeah,
like
he was check on.
encouraging him to keep going. So like if you watched it, it was like Maurice was progressively getting worse, and Carlos was like egging him on, like, yeah, absolutely. You know what? I grew up in a tradition. It was definitely the mother and the mother took care of this, and the fathers did that, and the dads took care of the families, and that, and blah 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 blah. Absolutely, men should be able to do whatever. Like Carlos was
That's when he don't see
actively
no problem with.
feeding into it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
He don't
he
see
was
no
he,
problem with
what
bodies men.
happened?
That's the people he casts. He don't see a lot of problems
yeah,
with men. That's what he
not
said.
at all.
Oh, I thought Martel. Like I said, he wants a piece of Martel. I will keep saying it. And
Listen, you know what my thing is, right? This is why I say people are in. Carlos is like, oh yeah, traditional families and traditional relationships and da 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 da. I was like, I don't understand how you come from a divorced family, so you grew up with a single parent, and the Scotts grew up basically their parents got divorced and you grew up in a single parent household. I don't understand what traditional relationship or traditional family y'all talking about because that's
Exactly.
not
What
how
did
you
that look
grew
like for
up.
you?
I was like, I don't understand how, because that's not how you grew up. That's not what you seen, right? So so people have this skewed views on what like this traditional family is and what this thing is. I was like, that's not how you grew up. That's not what you knew. Like, so when I say it, I'm like, my parents have been married my whole life. I'm the baby at 10. My parents have been married th- forever. Like, I grew up in a two-parent household. My grandparents, until they both my grandfather passed away, and within 6 months my grandmother passed away, and it was like, well, she was lonely because they had been together they whole dang on life pretty much. So I was like, so when I think of a traditional family, I was like, there is no way that my dad would have ever talked to my mother the way y'all are talking about talking to you. There is no way. Like there is not. My dad had more respect for my mother than anything else and would have flipped out if any of us had said anything to my mom like, "Oh, you're just a housewife." My dad would have lost his mind. Cuz when listen, when my mom got sick, my dad was like he worked 6 days a week. He ran his own business. Fine. My mom got sick and my dad had to take it. My dad was lost. My dad was like, "I don't see how she does this. I can't I don't know what I'm doing. We just go order out every day. What do you mean you are allergic to this and you can't do that and you need to go here, here, here?" And he was like, "Well, how do you do that?" And so my dad was lost and was like, "Yeah, listen, you got this because there's no way that I can do the things that you do and make it look so effortlessly." So my dad would have flipped out if we would have said something crazy like that to our mom. So I know he wouldn't have said it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have someone who says these crazy things to their spouse, and I'm like, what type of marriage are y'all in that you talk to your partner? I mean, absolutely crazy. Because some of the things they say to them, I'm like, and y'all let him talk to y'all like, and y'all talk to them like that, and they actually are willing to accept this. You got to be out your rabbit mind. Like, are you? Oh, y'all all dumb. Okay, well, let me take a step back because I was like, I don't know what traditional relationship y'all talking about. I was like, because this is toxic. I was like, it could be traditional. It was traditional and toxic. Nobody wants that. Tradition and toxic are two things that should not go together. And y'all are just feeding into the misogynistic BS and gassing their heads up, which is absolutely terrible, and it just makes it worse. Throw all of them away.
All of them.
Throw
The
throw
all
all
of them.
throw all the Scots away. And I really want to meet their mom because I feel like me and her need to box.
We need to slap box. I want to slap
Because you
box
met
that
this
Slap
woman.
mom.
box.
Slap box in the middle of the street with no shoes and no bra on. Bitch, let's go. Cause I'm mad.
Go deep in the ghetto.
Bitch, I'm mad. Let's go.
Because you raised this man who thinks that his wife, who is battling cancer, has the right to tell her just suffer through it so I can have my needs met. I'm sorry. The one who
Legit.
getting pumped with poison weekly so she can live on this earth and take care of her child. You want that person to just suffer through it so you could be happy? Go to hell.
I,
Go to hell.
I wish you would.
He may not be all that good.
I
So that when you do
wish
sex like
you
that,
would.
they don't really perform that well. They just want to get it off.
And I bet you the sex ain't even good.
That's what I was saying.
Just
People
thinking
think
it's
sex
not
like that.
good, and then you got to suffer through it just so your husband won't go out and sleep with somebody else. And it will be, and the gag would be if the nigga's still out there doing something.
It's also because a lot of men like those sort of couples. Kyle and not so how. Yes.
That's ridiculous. Send all of them to hell. The next,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Monty did ask the question. Did we see? Yes, we did see it. She did admit it on the YouTube, whatever this audio, that yes, it was the tape out there, and yes, she has it, and yes, it was between Mel and Montel. Now she had no intention of leaking it, but if she did, she knew who she would leak it to, and it's that YouTuber she talked the audio with. And I said, oh, so now we know how she got her information. Yeah, we seen it. She said it. She admitted it.
She put that tape out there. She ought to hit their ass with some revenge porn type thing. I would. I'm just saying. So next thing, real quick, we can get into the goddamn Morty's alabaster ass, rich ass white men. Supreme Court strikes down Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, blocking debt relief for millions of borrowers. There was that went on, and then the Supreme Court ends affirmative action in college admissions.
And they did that ruling of the website designer. That's a lot that they did in 1 week. Yeah.
Like, y'all, what? Yes, the website designer too. Like, what's going on in the world, y'all? We is going to hell. And the whole scenario, Mizzle, what you were talking about earlier in your live, that shit just had me. That just blew my mind. You want to talk about it real quick, or break down the scenario, because I had to listen to it a couple times because I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. So basically, it was going on Twitter that Supreme Court rules that you could discriminate against LGBTQ people, other establishments and businesses like that. Technically, you can't do it fully because it's still a protected class, but with certain creative, expressive jobs, only the freedom of speech, if it goes against your religion or your beliefs, the speech part, you could refuse service in that aspect. So, for example, if I make cakes for a living, and cake is my expressive kind of job, anybody who comes to my establishment, I have to serve. If they ask a specific thing that's a go against my religious belief or something like that, for example, I'm pro-choice, but if somebody came for pro-choice and they was anti-choice and I didn't like that, then I could say, no, I will deny your service. And that's it. And that's exactly what it was. But the only thing about that is that she was never asked to make a website, nor did she even create a website. She came with a hypothetical situation to the courts. She was denying the states. They did not say, girl, you out of your mind, bye. But when she took it to the Supreme Court and they didn't listen to it, and they ruled in her favor. So it may open the door to other discriminatory practices that might happen in some way, small shape, or form. But it also along the line, who is considered expressive jobs? And how many leeway can they go of denying services? Because at the end of the day, when you serve the public, you have to serve the public. But if they ask a specific thing that you're against, they are rude in her favor of speech that she denied that. When her example was creating a website of gay marriage, she don't believe that. So she could serve them if they want to create a website for anything else, but if it's specific to that, she would deny it. And that's exactly what the ruling was. And I said, Chad, I had to read that a couple of times. And I was like, really? Okay. So they're going to open the door for a lot of other things. Like Tracy said, they start small. They start small. They're going to go big.
That is absolutely ridiculous. How the hell can you? That's what I can get. How you can rule in favor of something that ain't even damn happened?
Yeah.
Well,
she feel like violating her freedom of speech of First Amendment. I said, okay, good, but nobody sued you on it. So that's what I'm saying. What happened, girl?
I mean, technically, Roe wasn't an unaliving of a baby. Technically, she wasn't actually trying to not have the baby. So so it's right. So the state court can say they don't do hypotheticals. Like, it has to be a thing. We're going to kick it out. The Supreme Court can, though, because it's the idea of setting a precedent. So it's like, okay, is it logical that this thing could happen? Is it like, if it is, then it's like, could they rule on it? Yes. So it's like, could this thing happen? I mean, yeah, it could. It isn't so far outside the realm of possibility where it's like impossible for happening. So it wouldn't. So it's just that odd. It's that odd placement for things, right? So the Supreme Court with Biden, like, not to be funny, we all seen this one come. Well, not all, but we see most people who follow politics knew that this was coming. Like, this was the outcome, right? When you look at the court and the way the court is set up, it was set up for this to fail. This was like a last ditch effort to get it to happen. But it was kind of set to fail from the beginning, right? Just based off of the way the court is set. Which is like not good for most people who have to, not like, this would have benefited the public and they don't want that, right? So it's like, the only way that something like this will do something, because this isn't like a precedent that we used to have that we're not getting anymore. This was something additional that they were trying to give us, and they were like, yeah, no. But it's just messed up when we've bailed out the airline industry. They've bailed out the banks. They bailed out all of these things except for the people. And it's like, why can't you bail us out? This is you bail out big business, but you don't bail us out, which sucks, right? And it's just terrible. So then you have the affirmative action thing, which is set for colleges, but it's not just for colleges, right? So it's the main person who brought it up was for a college, but it affects affirmative action federally across the board. So that means even people's jobs, right?
That's crazy.
So it's not just that. And people are like, oh, it's affirmative action, it doesn't apply to me. Affirmative action applies to most minorities, and they just don't realize it. Like, I work in HR. I can tell you right now, we have quotas that we want to fill because we want a good diversity number, and we want, especially at larger companies, they want this inclusive thing, because a lot of times you get tax write-offs for the businesses.
Right here in Austin, as a matter of fact, just because I work so closely with the police department and EMS and things like that, I've had I've had people who work with EMS and that just different people that work with EMS have tried to recruit me over to working with EMS just because they need those Black numbers. It's like, just to know I could go over there and get hired right now just because I'm Black, and I'm a Black female on top of that.
So you're a double minority.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Asian community loves to act like it, but honey, you're a minority to them. Like
You
you are a
are. Yeah,
you're a
you
minority to
are.
them.
They
They
are.
don't see themselves as a minority because to them they are white, but they really are, right? Um, like I know, like for sure, my son goes to a private university. Like I know for sure he got into college due to affirmative action.
Oh
Absolutely,
yeah. Oh
100%.
yeah. Absolutely.
Because he's a minority male in STEM, and they were like, yeah, he had a great GPA. Yeah, he had all the other things. That's all great, but they needed minorities because their school is 92% white. They needed the minorities. Like they needed to get themselves to the 10% mark. So they were accepting more minorities to make sure they got to their quota. Like it
Thank
isn't, the problem is like Clarence Thomas has been trying to get rid of affirmative action since he
And
got on
that
the court.
nigga, Clarence Thomas need his whole black ass whooped. I said it, and now let me turn the camera on because I got my blanket on me because I'm cold. I will say this: fuck Clarence Thomas. Fuck
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas. He need his whole ass whooped. He is such an ass kissing Uncle Tom ass, brown nosing, dick in a booty ass, kiss ass, black ass man, and I
That's
can't
how you
stand Clarence Thomas. I can't stand Clarence Thomas, and he should have been goddamn kicked out when he sexually harassed Anita, whatever the hell her name is. Fuck Clarence Thomas. I said that I'll get demonetized for that. Fuck Clarence Thomas. I
Well,
can't stand his ass.
well, tell us how you really feel.
I know that's right.
Fuck him. Fuck him 3 ways from Sunday. I cannot stand
Oh,
Clarence Thomas. And for him, of all people, nigga, you got in because of affirmative action. How the hell you gonna ban that for some other people? So you the Uncle Tom ass nigga that's gonna get in there, use affirmative action to get your position, but then ban that shit from other niggas so they can't get where you at. Fuck Clarence Thomas. That nigga
yeah,
kiss
because
my ass.
his whole career he has hated the idea that's the only reason that he's made it
Yup.
to where he is, right?
The
So
big
he got
Q.
voted in after Thurgood Marshall, which is the first Black Supreme Court
The
justice we've
first
ever
black.
had.
Come on
So
now.
then right after him, he got it, and they were like, "Oh, it's because of affirmative action. It's because they needed another diversity hire." And he has, well, even when he went to college, they felt like that, and he was like, that whole stigma. So he has been fighting against like affirmative action ever since he was able to. Like he hated the thought process of being told that he only got in because he was black, not he got in because he was worthy, right? So that's like
You
his
been
own
kissing the
personal
white folks
stigma
ass
and
too.
trauma that he is now pushing onto everyone else. Because say what you want, I don't care that the only reason I got in is because I'm black. Guess what? I'm black and I do my job just as well as the other
Damn
people
good.
sitting in the room with me, if not better, because I will tell you from an HR standpoint what we normally do. If you are black and you're applying for the job and there's a white person applying for the job, we need you to be a little better than them to be like, okay, well, you know what? We'll be willing to take the black person if we don't need to make our quota. Like you need to be better than this person for us to take you. So 9 times out of 10, you are more qualified for your job than the person who's running next to you or the person who's sitting next to you. Because that's what we look for. Because there are things that this is gonna sound so wrong, Lord Jesus. But there are things in HR that when we go to hire people that we look for in standards and we say, like, hey, okay, well, let's try this. If you are a minority and you have this and you have that, we will get this for hiring you. We will get this break for hiring you. You're a minority of, of race and you're a woman. Oh, double dose. We can apply for two of these. Wait, you're a minority and you're a woman and you have a college degree? Check, check, check.
Mm-hmm.
Just more brackets that we can click off when we need to go file. So it is a sad state to say we look at things when we're doing that to make sure we're hitting the quota, But the quotas also give the business back something. So it isn't just saying like, oh, well, let's, hire this many minorities, because technically they didn't have to. They always had the option not to, but you wanted those extra things that you got for doing it.
Yep.
Yep. And what they gonna do now? Because they do away with this, then the funding will be cut. A lot of things gonna happen. And what about the people who didn't get the equal chance in public schools and before? Like, don't start from higher education. Let's start back from there. The public
Yeah.
school. I talked about my own life. It's like a lot of school districts don't have this funding like other school districts that are able to get them an opportunity to go to some of these schools. It's like that. Now, to be honest, I mean, I heard about HBCU like that, but my college didn't support it, even though it's predominantly black high school. But they ain't focused on HBCU like that. It was other stuff like that. So it was like we don't have that resources to even get to be equal standing as the other counterparts. So if we want to do that, we need to make sure everybody is equipped to be equal standing. But that's not going to happen. So how they going to do it? They're going to find a way to not even get us in there. And yeah, some people did benefit from it. Like that. Like they are program now in higher education in SUNY schools and CUNY schools, SEEK, EOP, HEOP. All those things was maybe indirect or direct decision from affirmative action, because they do give this minorities opportunity to come to these schools who may not have equal standing and get admitted if they did apply originally. So it was like, it is ridiculous, but we'll see how this goes, because I don't know how they will affect and what they're going to do. But all the people who's blaming us, like we, the only minority group that benefit from this, I want to know what is your excuse, i.e. the agents, when you still don't get in without this ruling.
That part.
Because y'all all stay blaming us like we take your seats when we barely don't be in that schools like y'all have. You and the white counterparts mostly get in those schools. So I don't know why you blaming us, but we want to know what we're supposed to say. And now y'all getting on Twitter congratulating the ruling because now you get in. Just say, boy, bye. I don't know what to say to tell you. And then the death relief program, I was about to apply, but they stopped it. They put a stop on holding people to apply for it.
I wish I'd applied for that shit. I thought it was a scam. That's why I didn't do it.
I thought so too. That's why I stopped.
I applied for it and my application is still pending.
Yeah,
like
they put a hold on it, and I was like, okay, so I'm on an income-based payment plan, so I just go pay it based on my income. I don't pay that whole thing because they be calculating with the payment $1,000 a month. I ain't paying that much. $300 is fine. Is what I give you. So that's that. But,
look at Daddy, if you're out there, I need you to pay these student loans, boo.
And then I said that's a lot right now, and it sucks that people are blaming Biden for everything that's not pushing through. Y'all need to understand something. These people at Supreme Court, they don't leave their seats. And when that freaking time election that happened, y'all know back in that election when we had HC, Hillary Clinton and him, Orange Man, we had that 3 seats open that could turn the second offense of getting your thing proved. Because, like, we had checks and balances. Supreme Court make decisions and stuff like that. It could get veto and everything, but it's checks and balances. The president don't have all the power. So when we had that opportunity to fill the seats, y'all only thought it was just that one stop. No, he had that point election was the point election to get high, and people did not want to see that. And now they reap the benefits. So everything he said he wanted to happen is happening. And what can we say? It's happening. And what can we say? Because he pointed those 3 people and they're not leaving. We had that one new judge. That's good for her. But look what's happened. It's still out balance. So it's, I don't know. It is ridiculous. And now we can't do nothing about that until they decide to leave.
Them jokers ain't never leaving.
They're not leaving.
They got a lifetime appointment. They ain't
not
never leaving.
That's the problem about it. So that's why people say our votes matter. It does matter. Because when we voted him in, he had agenda, who he want in that seat to push his agenda. Even though he's not the president anymore, it's still going through. So we got nothing to blame. So you can't blame Biden as much like that because he don't have the power to do everything. What is it? Veto. Yes, they're gonna go back and get approved there. So I was like, listen, good thing I'm not into politics that much, but I do know enough to know that he's not the fault. It happened way before that.
Exactly. Trump did this shit. Fuck Trump.
Listen,
Everything
I
Trump.
will I will say this. My problem with Biden is a little different, right?
Yes, it
Right?
is.
Because when Biden came in with the court the way it was, right? I was like, "Oh, that's what we're doing?" I was like, "That sucks." I was like, "So all I need him to do is to go and say, "You know what? What we're going to do is we're going to stack the court in perpetuity. I'm going to elect me 3 new judges, so it's a little more balanced, like even with one person who kind of swings, so it'll be even. And then I'll just make this in perpetuity, and then we're just stuck, right? And then you can't change it because it's in perpetuity here and forevermore. This is how many judges we can have on the bench, and we will be good to go. And then I wouldn't have any of these problems. But of course not. Of freaking course not. Of course he couldn't. He refused because right now there's 9. I was like, give me 11.
Uneven balance, right? Oh yeah, it's not.
Give me 11
Yeah.
because it needs to be an odd number, right? That's fine. So they can't ever be even, right? They always, so there needs to be an odd number. I understand that. I was like, give me 11, give me 2 more, make them 2 more Democratic people. Then you will have 4. Um, so you could have, 5, and then one person who's a swing voter, who's independent, so they could go either way. But normally they side more Democratic. But that could have been nice and even. Give me 5 people and say this is the number of people on the Supreme Court seats in perpetuity. You can't add anyone else. You can't change anything else. This is how it will be for the rest of our lives. And we wouldn't have had any of this. Roe wouldn't have been overturned. Affirmative action wouldn't have been overturned. This ridiculous thing for this doggone woman in her web design that never really happened, that wouldn't have been a part of the books, and that wouldn't have got, none of these things would have made it to where we are now. And unfortunately, we're at a place where, because people of the generation to under, like, there's a lack of understanding from where politics are to what people feel like matters, and they're just kind of going and like, oh, okay, I'll do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it matters, and you don't realize it matters until
It's too
it's too
damn late.
doggone late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
Now everybody say, "Damn."
traditionally, right, that the thought process of the Supreme Court was always, we're going to add to the things. We're never going to take away a right that you had, is how the Supreme Court has worked for the 100+ years that it's been around. It has added things, but they never took anything away from you. They may have like changed it, right? So they may have said like, oh, okay, well, before you could do this, but now it's that. They may have changed it, but they never like outright took your rights away from you. And now we're noticing more and more they're stripping away things that used to matter. And people are like, oh, that's not a thing. I was like, okay, affirmative action was also that part of thing. They're stripping away, like at the 14th Amendment. Like they're stripping away at your rights, and your rights to privacy, your rights to say I can do what I want. They're stripping away at those rights. So at some point that amendment is going to be so weak, because they've stripped all the things from it, that these rights that you feel that you're entitled to aren't going to be yours anymore. And then what do we do? Because the problem is the Supreme Court is the highest court in the land. There is nothing above it. Like that is where
Yeah.
it's at. And those are the people who are saying, yeah, but we're not really here for that. Listen, we've been not here for women. We've been not here for black people. The LGBTQIA community is learning that, guess what? Although there's a lot of white people in there, they don't care about y'all either.
They come.
So
That part.
so
Yeah.
so the fact, and what bothers me about a lot of people in minority groups is they feel like their minority group is the only thing that matters. But I tell people all the time, if they're willing to strip women's rights away, what is going to stop you?
Exactly.
What is going to stop them from stripping anyone else's
Stripping,
rights away?
yep.
Because they lay with these people. Like, these are the people they lay with, and if they're taking the rights from the people they lay with, why wouldn't they take your rights from you? Like,
You ain't no damn different.
that don't make no sense to me. Like,
No.
when you think about it like that, like, if I would take the rights away from the person I lay with, why wouldn't I take the rights away from anyone else? So people are always like, oh well, da da da. I was like, you have to look at where they start with things. If they're willing, they're all white outside of Clarence and Katanji. Katanji just got there, so she don't really count. But let's be clear, for the majority, they are all white people. And if they're willing to take away white women's rights, everyone else should understand that that you're up on the chopping block. Let's be clear. If white women could get it, then
You get it too. You
then
ain't
why
no
would
doggone different.
then I'm black, so I'm definitely gone.
Thank you, Liver of Life. I thank you for your comment earlier. My birthday was amazing, and yes, I did look good on that panel when I was at City Hall. I sure did.
So I will. So I'll just keep telling people, if they are going after one minority group, please understand that they're going after all minority groups, and the only way that we're going to get through this is if all the minority groups come together, because there are power in numbers, and you may not like everything about that minority group, but to save yourself, you have to save that other one, right? So it's like saying that the LGBTQIA community has a strong force with it right now, but the power in voting has always been Black women. Like, that is where the power in voting has always lied. So if we can get those two groups together, right, and on the same page, we could be a much stronger force, because there's always been this thing about Black women in when it comes to voting, that they have been able to galvanize and pull in people who they didn't think that most people didn't think that they can pull in. You know what I mean? Because they have a way of saying, like, well, come here, baby, let me help you. Like, come here, let me pull you in. So because there's always been this thing about it, if you ever look at polling, they say, like, if we can, like, we need to see where the Black women are polling, what they're pulling towards, because normally if there's like a toss up, it's going to go whatever way that they're going. Like, that's where it's going to go, because, just traditionally, that's how it's kind of always been, with their ability to, like, galvanize and pull people in. So if we could get the minority groups to come together for a cause, we would stand a fighting chance, right? So when Roe was being overturned, if we could have gotten the LGBTQIA community to join, there's power in numbers, right? So when the LGBTQIA community had this issue with this web designer, it's like, oh, you should have your rights. If we can get Black women to join, that we need to galvanize the minority groups together, and then something could come of that, so we can get on the same collective page. Right now we're all too segmented. We're all trying to just fight our own battles and not realizing that we all getting beat slowly but surely. We are all getting
All right. Let's move on to the last thing, y'all. We're gonna get on up out of here. I just want to quickly do an update on the whole Jeremy Brown thing. Now, we talked about this last week. This was the Carlisha Hood. This was the guy that beat up on Carlisha Hood when they were in that restaurant, and her son came to save her from this abusive monster right here. And first of all, I just want to apologize, because there's been an update on it, because there was a whole bunch of different stories about it that came out. And one of the things that I said last week that I want to apologize to her, even though she'll never see this, but just in general, just for my own peace of mind, one of the things that I had said last week was, why would she put her son in that situation? Why would she text him? Because he was already there. He was sitting outside in the car. But to clarify, he had actually seen what was going on. He's seen the whole argument ensuing, and that son took it upon himself to grab his mother's gun and go in there and to protect her. And for that, I want to clarify that because my son would have done the exact same thing. Has he seen me getting into it with a man, he'd have came in there to save me and help me. But what I thought was ratchet as hell was his funeral services was this past week. And the family are some of the most hood boogerish niggas I done ever seen in my life. And the baby mama went on this little rant on social media because she, as you can see, this is her, bent over twerking on one of his the cutout board picture of him at his, the services or whatever they had afterwards. And they had shirts on that said Knockout King. Now apparently he's known in the hood for knocking niggas out. That's what he do. He's good with his hands. And I didn't see some of the posts that the family put out. If y'all want to see it, y'all go look at Lovely T, because Lovely T, she did a video on it, I think it was yesterday, and there was a bunch of different people that were commenting on their social medias that are family members of his, basically talking about, yeah, he had the coldest hands out here, that's what he do, he ain't never had to use no gun, he got them hands, he be knocking niggas out for real, and like just real ratchet with it. And one of the things that I agree Lovely T said was that Carlisha Hood and her son, they need to move on up out of Chicago because these niggas is giving all kind of, it's giving retaliation just because they so niggerish and so ghetto. I want y'all to hear what the baby mama had to say, and then we're going to get into a little bit of commentary about this here.
That trolling because I put Knockout King on my motherfucking shirt. Bitch, he is the Knockout King of the motherfucking hundreds, bitch. Before this motherfucking situation, y'all really dragging this motherfucking case. Y'all really just want to have something to talk about. Y'all really got too much time on y'all motherfucking hands. Y'all really getting on my motherfucking nerves, and we really laughing at y'all. Y'all really making us famous. And thank you for the 10,000 views. Like, y'all that's going crazy. Yeah, y'all did y'all big one.
And I'm not going to play the rest of it, but basically they was all just ghetto as they want to be at the funeral. They was all bent over twerking, probably twerking on a casket, child. Just ghetto as hell. But like I said, I feel like Carlisha and her son need to move up out of Chicago where they was at. And really, like I said, I just wanted to give an update on it because I felt bad for saying that she shouldn't have put her son in that situation. But really, like I said, that son was just looking out for his mama. He was doing the exact same thing that my son would have did for me. He would have came over there if he seen somebody, especially some man coming at me. He'd have came over there to protect me as well. But y'all have any thoughts or any follow-up about the whole hood boogers? And what is somebody? Live of Life said, Tracy, did you see his question?
What's your question?
Before that, right there.
Oh, you seem to know everything. Can you help me find an overnight job working from home?
Get an overnight job.
What kind of work you do? What kind of work you do now? I'm trying to figure out what industry you're trying to get. Put it in the chat. Tell me what type of jobs you do now. What type of industry you work in. I do HR for 7 companies. So I mean, one of them, most of them have overnight work. So I just don't know what you do. But let me know, and then I'll tell you what company to go through.
All right.
Because I might. But I might. I don't know. It just depends on what you do. I mean, if you're an OnlyFans model, I can't really help you much. That I don't really know much about. But the knockout hood booger people, I mean, he put his hands on the right one, and now he went on to meet the devil. I mean, he'll be all right. Y'all be to meet him soon. Y'all can go back where he at. I mean,
I just dropped the video
games, win stupid prizes.
Thank you. I just dropped the video link to Lovely T. I love Lovely T. Y'all need to be following her on YouTube anyway. She be dropping some good videos, good tea. But she got the post and whatnot that the family was saying. All of this is just ghetto. And basically, like, the family is praising him for having these knockout hands. And it's like he's saying knockout hands is what got you killed, sir.
But it's dumb and dusty for glorifying that, especially when you got killed for. First of all, yes, they put it out there that she texts her son and put it in this way. That's why I had that strong opinion about that, because I was like, yes, it's like that. Yeah, I do grant that. Yes, some kids probably was, let's say, to protect their mom. I'm not a fighter, but in some way, shape, or form, I would protect my mom too. In some way, shape, or form, I would. It's like that. And my brother could do the fighting. I would protect him different ways.
Yeah.
So like that. So yes, if I see my mom getting hit up, yes, I will be standing there and protecting. It's like that. So I'm not knocking that. I just feel like the gun and putting him like this, not a whole lot of him. It was like I felt for the boy. I said, damn, this is crazy. But good they didn't charge a shot. But y'all, it's poor chasing glorifying the knockout thing when he put his hand when he punched a woman 3 times face. Y'all ain't say nothing about that. Y'all just glorifying that he's a knockout king, you want to twerk and everything, and then you get the baby mom coming to the video say, "Oh, you're giving us clicks and views." So y'all did all that for views, basically. Y'all want to get famous. Y'all want views. Y'all want it that badly, knowing that he punched a woman in the face and y'all did not rally on that. That's what people coming after you because it's like at the end of the day, you glorifying that it was okay for the man to punch a woman in the face 3 times over what reason? And he got a girlfriend there. He wants somebody to hit the woman. He could have had his girlfriend do it. Like, why you got to do it? So now you got your life ended, and then y'all want to feel sad. Well, we don't feel bad for y'all, but y'all go ahead with the clicks and views. Y'all want it so badly. Go ahead, get it. Y'all, and tell you that truth. Sometimes clicks and views is always not always a good thing.
And then you know what, you got to think about his twin daughters, and everybody's like, he was a father. He had twin daughters. He wasn't thinking about his twin daughters when he was out here putting his hands on that woman, number one. And then number two, like when his kids get older, they gonna know my daddy got killed because he was beating up on the woman, and her son came in there to protect her.
And that baby mama ain't corrected that either. It didn't make it seem like he was wrong. So now it's like,
no, she didn't.
Oh, she did.
No, I was saying no, she didn't. She didn't. She was just like, yeah, he the knockout king. Yup. He been knocking niggas out. Like, what?
I want you, like we said before, when if Uzi put his hands on JT, y'all should have the same energy. So I'm sorry to say this, but somebody did that to your daughters. I need you to have the same energy. They said,
yep.
He said they the knockout kings.
Yep, okay. I agree.
Don't say nothing. You know what you want to do? Beat the guys up because you basically their father is dead because he hit a woman.
Yep.
So if somebody's son hit your daughter, you say the same energy. You say, "Oh well, it's toxic love."
That's the knockout king. That's
the knockout king. Ew. I want the clicks and views. Yeah, shut the hell up.
Any final thoughts before we get up out of here, Tracy? On the knockout king?
Made them hood boogers rest with Satan.
Oh, period, points blank, and the period.
You think you could be in that enough to know just no, because at the elite one live a life. I said no, because at the end of the day, I have enough sense to walk away. Because if I hit a woman, it's like that. It's wrong on my part. Because I straight up hit a woman, it's like that. Now, a woman hit me, I would defend myself. But usually, I walk away from a situation when they get too heated. So no, arguing is arguing. You don't hurt nobody when it's arguing. Yes, words can hurt sometimes, but you're not killing nobody. You're not unaliving someone by arguing. Walk away and do something else. They go over the damn self. We're going to call them, drive away. Yeah, I got time for all that. So
that question wasn't for me. I put my hands on people, so that was
that part. Baby, oh God, these hands is. Baby, I believe in equal rights and lefts around this motherfucker.
I tell people all the time. It's like
these hands are rated E for everybody.
Let me tell you something. I was like, See, I'm also I ain't wrapped too tight. I ain't got no good sense. So we not gonna go by my standards because I'm just now getting to a place in my life where I ain't half past ignorant. And when I say half past ignorant, I'm not ignorant in the way that I'm gonna get my butt online and talk crazy.
That's me.
Absolutely not. I'm not doing that. When I say half past ignorant, I mean we fight. Like I'm not I got bail money. I'm good. Like I'm Gucci. I'm all right. I'm not let me tell you this right now. I was like, I got 6 brothers. We can fight. I've been fighting my whole natural life. I mean, I'm the baby of 10 and I got 6 brothers. I will fight anyone. Like I'm not afraid to fight. But that's also because, I grew up with 6 brothers. That's different. That's odd. So that's just me. So when I say I fight people, everybody be like, oh, you're the problem. So when I tell him to rest well with Satan, that's just what I mean. And apparently his baby mama and everyone else is used to getting knocked out too. So they don't see a problem with
They
it,
don't see
which
no
is
problem with the
odd
right.
and strange. But I agree. Them people need to move.
Yeah, because they line his family is lying to get revenge on her.
Yep, you and your baby need to move. I
Yeah,
mean,
they do.
although
Yeah,
you
that's true.
clearly have a license to carry and you doing what you need to do to protect yourself. So if they come to your house, I mean, you better blow them to see their brother. I don't know what else to tell you. Send them to their maker, down there in Satan, because they clearly going below us, not above us. But hey, I, I'm just simply saying, if they want to meet their sibling that bad and they want to hang out, then I mean,
Then go
sometimes you
do
gotta
it.
do what you gotta do.
I see what you're saying, Liver of Life.
Yep.
Liver say, oh, see me, if a woman hits me hard, I'd have to force myself to run because my nature would be to hit her ass. And I would hate that. I'm all listen, I believe women can fight women, okay? Men can fight men, okay? Really don't nobody need to put their hands on each other, none of that. But I will say this: if a woman is steady hitting on a man, he is walking away. He is trying to walk away. She is going after him. But situations that I have seen before, she is steady going after him, throwing stuff at him, beating him in his head, pulling him by his clothes, just doing all kinds of outlandish shit. And then the nigga get mad, haul out and knock her ass. Then everybody looking at the dude like he wrong. I don't believe in that. And I know as a woman that is so messed up to say, but I'm just being completely honest. Women, keep your hands to yourself. Cause if that nigga haul off and knock your motherfucking cat back blue, honestly, that's your fault. Cause you should have kept your hands to yourself. Don't
Look,
think just because that's a man, he's not supposed to hit you. And I'm not condoning no man hitting no woman. It's not right. But I totally understand it if it happens. And I'm not gonna fault that man for it.
listen, I'll tell people all the time. Not everybody was raised right. You put your hands on somebody, they're gonna put their hands back on you. Now,
Yes,
if you knock your
exactly.
top off, I don't know what to tell you. But
I
as
don't
I
know what to
told my
tell you.
son,
No,
if
yeah.
listen, I told my son, if a girl hits you, like if she punches you and you have to, I was like, I don't want you to punch her. No, body slam her. Just go ahead and one good time. Just it'll knock the wind smooth out of her. She'll get her life together. I don't want you punching her, but just slam her. She'll be all right. She'll live 9 times out of 10. She'll be okay.
I
Was my
seen this
statement. If
video.
she is there and she is not, and you feel, just slam her. My son is also like 6'1", almost 200 pounds. So I was like, just don't punch her because you might hurt her. Slam her one good time. She'll live.
Listen, I seen this video a couple years ago. It was this nigga and this male and female black folks. Now there was a couple. He looked like he was at least a good 6'4", 300. I mean, he was a big cock, strong, rock solid ass black nigga. And then the girl, she was about shit. She was about my height, probably like 5'4", and she was an itty bitty little skinny thing. Now they outside of a club, they arguing. She throwing stuff. She picking up trash cans, throwing trash cans at him. She getting bottles, throwing bottles at him. And the nigga is steady trying to walk away. He is walking to his car. This heifer gets on top of the car and tries to break the front windshield. Then she goes back over to the trash can that she threw at him, get stuff out the trash can, throwing stuff at him, like steady jumping and hitting him. Now, people with their phones out, recording it, laughing, talking about, look at him. She mad at that nigga. She going hard on that nigga. Finally, she throws something at him and like it pisses him off because, like, mind you, this video was going on for at least a good minute and a half. This is a long ass video.
Damn.
And she's steady like throwing stuff. It was one person that was eating some food. This bitch picked up the food out the metal. This person's eating. This nigga is in the mid eating, biting, and she just grabbed this person's food out their hand and threw it at this nigga. Now, had that been me, I'd have fought that bitch right there. Bitch, how you gonna throw my food? And I ain't even got nothing to do with this. But she's steady going, I mean, just acting a fool. Finally, when she busted that nigga window and then went at him and hit him again, he hauled off and he popped her ass in the jaw and he knocked her out. Next thing you know, just like that, R.I.P. dead to the bed. Then afterwards, you got 3 big old niggas that come over and jumping on him. And it's like, wait a minute, wait a fucking minute, wait a minute. How come y'all didn't do nothing when this girl was over there and he was steady trying to walk away? Oh, and then that's what it was. When he went to his car, somehow or another, they in the car and she wrestled to get up there. She got the keys and threw his keys. So the nigga could not leave. So finally, he got mad. Like I said, she busted his window. She hit him, and he, for the last time, he was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. He hauled off. Now, I ain't gonna lie. The nigga, he reached back far and bow, knocked her ass right in the jaw, and literally she fell out, knocked the hell out. Then you got these niggas coming over there jumping on him, and then you got females, fuck punk ass nigga hitting on female, fuck you nigga. Da, da, da. It's like, wait a minute. Did y'all not see what led up to her getting knocked the fuck out?
See, people don't see no power in doing that. Woman doing that.
Thank you. Like y'all don't see what happened for her to get her ass knocked out. Not saying that she deserved it. I mean, she did deserve to get her ass whooped. I ain't gonna lie, but it's a cause and effect for everything. The effect of her getting knocked the hell out was because she caused that to happen. But it's like when situations like that happen, I ain't mad at that man for doing that, and I think them other niggas that came over there and jumped on him, y'all ain't shit. Because y'all was the same niggas that was sitting up there laughing when she was over there clowning, beating up on him. And then finally he gets mad and he cocks back and defends himself. And then everybody want to go jump on him. That was wrong as hell. But situations like that is why I say, ladies, keep your hands to yourself. Because if a nigga knock your motherfucking cat back blue, that's on you. Am I wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong for saying that. But that's it. That's all I got for that. Y'all got anything else before we get on up out of here?
I think it's good. It's the sad state of the world we're living in now, but just do you live your life, I guess.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Am I wrong for thinking the Knockout King is where he's supposed to be?
Oh, no, he is.
No, he deserves what he needs to be.
He's exactly where he's supposed to be. Hopefully he down in hell in boxing matches with the devil by now. Exactly. You caused your own death, and I don't feel sorry for you for that, sir. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for his daughters. I feel being a child that has lost a parent.
Dusted behind the chick.
Yeah, I mean, being a child that has lost a parent, I feel bad for them girls, but it's like the sad reality of it. Your father caused his own death, and let that be a lesson. God damn it.
Yeah, when you love your kids, you don't do reckless things with your life.
No, not at all. Tracy, Live of Life said he's gonna send you a message.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We finna get on up out of here. Make sure you are following Mizzle. I don't think Mizzle. Are you doing any watch alongs tonight? Because Real Housewives isn't coming on. Thank God. Summer House is over.
Nah, I think I'll relax tonight. I think I'll watch the shows tomorrow.
All right. And so yeah, we won't be going live tomorrow. So yeah, in the meantime, in between time, make sure you're following Mizzle on all his socials, okay? Because he be getting down in Discord, okay? Baby sis is hungover. Her anniversary was this weekend, so she passed out.
Anniversary.
She passed out somewhere laying low, spreading wide. So y'all send baby sis some love. Follow her.
Pregnancy makes you sleepy.
You know, pregnancy does make you sleepy.
I know that.
There go my socials. Make sure y'all follow me. Listen, if you got an iPhone and you need the spill code, holla at your girl, okay? Shout out to Tracy for getting a bitch in there, okay? And then Sir Neale Hurston, bitch. Y'all check out his music. Sir Neale got some good music, y'all. He's on Bandcamp and he's on iTunes and he has actual for real music videos that are on YouTube. Y'all, please be sure to go check it out, okay? Y'all can be doing anything else on a Sunday night, but you came here to kick it with us. I appreciate y'all. I just been back here cozy, snug as a bug in a rug, bitch. Got my little blankets back here feeling good or whatnot. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Again, y'all could have been doing anything else. Y'all came here to kick with us, and we appreciate y'all for that so very, very much, y'all. This has been Real Queens Real Talk with a gentleman's perspective. We appreciate y'all for coming by, and we'll see y'all next Sunday, y'all. Bye.
All right, now it's time to get up. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Good night, guys.
Thank you. See y'all next Sunday.
Mizzle. See,